Yes, ready to go. Good afternoon to all of you. We'll be holding a 25-minute presentation on how we think ESKO can help you meet your needs and also the needs of your customers. After this presentation, you will be able to ask some questions as well in the room, or you can address these questions later on through our partner or directly to me. All right. The presentation will be having two parts. One is about automation and integration of your MIS or ERP system, as I believe you have just seen presentations of possible solutions in your environment, and how we think ESKO can help you connect to them and be even more productive in your pre-press and pre-production or production environment. All right. Let me first start with explaining or positioning a little bit our solutions. By the way, I hope you can all hear me. Can I see a thumbs up from the technical room just to see if everything is in order? Thank you very well. Thank you very much. Let me first position a bit our solutions in your environment, or in general in the pre-production environment for mostly the packaging industry. We are present in brand management, as you can see on the top left icon, in design, in the pre-press, in plate making, and in inline inspection systems. Today we'll be mostly covering design and pre-press, as we only have the 25 minutes, and this would be taking us otherwise far too much into detail, or we eat up too much of your time without you being able to understand perhaps even the core of our values or solutions. In design and pre-press, we have a few products that stand out. Today, we will talk about the one that you will see at the bottom center, called Automation Engine, which is an automating tool that will help you offload your operators of their most repetitive and mundane tasks, giving them the ability to focus on the more forward-looking or productive task that you should focus on. Okay, that's Automation Engine. We will see in a minute what we mean by that. Then you have, of course, color management tools. You also have CAD and structural design editors. You have project management and approval platforms like Web Center, which you will see in your top left. And then you have, of course, our PDF native editing software called ArtPro Plus. Again, today we will be focusing mainly on Automation Engine, firstly, and then secondly on ArtPro Plus. I should mention also that we have also plate making equipment for your flexo environment. But of course, I assume you know these products, which are, of course, let's say, industry standards, both in plate making as to plate exposure with the CDIs and the XPS lines. Good. So perhaps also a small word on the AVT line. Today, ESKO and AVT are one company, which means we also, apart from offering their products, we can also offer an integration between both product lines. Very well. But first, let's have a look at a presentation, or let's say a live recorded presentation of Automation Engine. Let me see how we can have it in here. There you go. Good. So in this presentation, you will see four products. Okay, you will see first of all let me play this. First of all, a automation engine, which is ESKO. You will see an MIS integration product, which can be a EFI solution, for instance, or another vendor, of course. Basically, anything that speaks XML, looks at an SQL database, or speaks JDF, can be integrated. Okay, we will be looking at our native PDF editor, and of course we will having a look as well at customer approval over web. So first, imagine in your MIS system that you create a new order. In this case, we are just having a virtual MIS software. Okay, this is not a real MIS software that you're seeing today. It is just a simulation. Of course, an MIS system, as you've seen earlier, will have far more possibilities. But still, I believe it gives you an idea of how well you can integrate an MIS system with an automation engine. Okay, in this MIS system, you will, of course, give some details. For instance, some editing instructions for the operator, a specific approval method for the customer, either via email or via an approval platform, soft proof platform. You will add some customer details. You will choose a specific design, a label in this case, or upload a new design. Once you have that label or design, you will choose a specific imposition or step and repeat, use it as a reference, and of course a certain winding if in case you're in a label environment. Once you've done this, you will create a specific entry, a new entry in your MIS system. This is a registered entry or production job in your MIS system. Automatically, when this is entered, this will update your automation engine environment. In here, you can see that we'll connect the system to the platform. We will do some pre-flighting, we will do some editing, we will do some reporting, some online approval, some layout automation, and then send to the plate or the press. Very well, good. Already, we have seen now that we've received some feedback from automation engine. Nothing is visible since it's automation, but something has been set up that our job in the MIS system receives a specific status update. Job was uploaded either by the customer or taken from an existing job database and sent to the automation engine, which will pre-flight that file and then send an OK back to the MIS system. We will see later on how this pre-flight looks like. Good. A job will be created. This is automation engine now, where you will receive, or you will see that some customer information was added, and a to-do was sent to the operator. Okay, so you will see in here editing instructions. Please trap and change the barcode. These were exactly the instructions that were given from the MIS system to the operator, but now the operator is in his production environment, in his pre-press environment. Okay, so he has no visibility necessarily of the MIS. He just has visibility of his production environment with a specific message. Very well. Just for the purpose of the exercise, we will copy this information to show it in a more interactive way, because otherwise automation is a boring demo. Good. So in RPro now, our PDF native editor, we will open that job that was sent or uploaded by the customer through the or by our customer sales representative in the MIS system. So we'll do some PDF native editing. For instance, we will change the barcode automatically. We can just add the barcode and change the number to the standard that we've received again automatically from your system. We have some quality control tools in RPro Plus to check, for instance, a press registration error. As you can see in here, some small white lines will be created, which will need correction. We will do some automatic trapping to solve that issue. We do not touch the original PDF. Okay, again, we are native PDF editing here. We're just adding a specific layer with that trap information. In case you need trapping, of course, less needed in a digital environment, but if you still have an analog environment, it can be useful. If you now check the registration error, you will see that we have no visible effects anymore. Very well. So if you save, we can do much more in RPro. We'll see that later on. Now, the purpose of this first demo is to show you a specific flow. Very well. In the meantime, the operator will complete the task that has been assigned to him. He has checked the file. Of course, the file has been changed. Therefore, we will get some feedback again of a pre-flight to the MI system, but also internally, we will create a report. As you can see here, we have a small pit stop report telling you we have some invisible objects, we have some black text that doesn't overprint, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this pre-flighting will be generated before, let's say, the editing is done in RPro Plus, in case you want to communicate it to the customer, or after the editing has been done. Why? Because via the editing, we've added barcode, we've added trapping. These are changes to the document, and we want to make sure that this is also pre-flighted, and therefore we generate a report. In this case, we're going to accept this pre-flight small errors. We're going to ignore the warnings because we just want to continue with our production. Okay. Once this is done, again in the background, all checks are good. Okay, so just to summarize a bit, first, we did a pre-flight of the generic document. This was fine. Secondly, we edited the job in RPro Plus. Thirdly, we did an additional pre-flight to make sure the integrity of the document is guaranteed for production later on. And now, fourth place, we're going to send an email notification to the customer for internal approval. Why? Because we have slightly changed the document. So the customer receives an email. By the way, this is all again steered automatically via automation engine, meaning we have captured the email from the customer from the MIS database, either through JDF or through the database. And now we're sending or taking that information to send an email to the customer with a specific report and with a link to an online approval platform. There we go. Customer just goes to his inbox, checks his email, just clicks on the link, and he will be taken automatically to this share and approve website that will show him, as you can see, the changed document. Well, you can see it in here. We have changed the barcode to the number we've passed, and we have also added a trap layer to the document. Again, the customer doesn't need any Acrobat or tool. He can just view online, because sometimes in Acrobat transparencies are not shown correctly, layers may not shown either. In this case, there is no error possible. The customer sees exactly what he will get in print in production. He can even check some separations, and if he wants to, he can add some comments saying everything is good, or still I need a specific change to my barcode. In this case, I approve. We commit to the approval, which means, again, a message is sent to automation engine. Hey, customer has approved this file. Signal is coming in. Fine. Let's continue with the job. So you can see in here, again, in your MI system, you have a status update. Yes, telling us the file has been approved by the customer. I realize this is an automating demo about automation. Therefore, you don't see a lot. Why? Because automation is all about doing things in the background and giving you updates, giving updates to the operator, giving updates to your CSR, to your order entry department. Very well. So this is approved. You get your feedback again to the MI system. Very well. And then the operator will get an order to do normally. Oh, before getting to the to-do, I will just show you a little bit as well that you can always track what happens in your production environment. All right, so everything, all the steps that I just told you are just in there. We also, which is nice for internal quality control, we've also created a report, which is a template that will be wrapped around your job. As you can see in here, with some specific production information that can be interesting for the operator to continue with this job envelope. Okay, this is again just a PDF. In this case, with this specific file that was trapped and with the barcode, of course, you can see that. And you will see that you get an overview in here of the separations that you have in the job. If the barcode was checked, if the winding is correct, all this information is captured in this report. The separations are also captured in the report, so you can easily do a quality control and have a job envelope for your production. Good. If all goes well, we should have now the to-do, exactly. And then the to-do is now, please continue with your production. All right, so you have a specific printing sequence. In here, it's a very simple step and repeat that we're going to do. You can change it dynamically if you want to. In this case, we're just going to start a production and start the step and repeat. This step and repeat will again happen in the background. Happening in the background means he will add some production elements that are relevant for your prints. Let's look at them. In this case, very, very simple. We have just added some marks. There you go. We've also made sure that the die line is in there, but that the die line is also transparent. Okay, so let's check for that. This is internal quality control that we're doing now. So, of course, since it's all automated, we want to make sure we receive the right signals. We also want to make sure we have the right quality control tools at hand and readily available for the operator to follow up on his production. There you go. This is a bit more visible insights on the automation engine. Okay, it's basically, I can show it in this case, it's a workflow which is basically a number of actions or nodes, as we call them, where you can do, I think there is more than 500 actions that you can take in automation engine, ranging between doing step and repeats, automatically creating reports, connecting to the MIS, of course, notifications. These are all things that are easily configurable by just connecting these nodes with those spaghettis, I guess you can see them. And these spaghettis will either be positive, I mean, go on a green path, or go on a red path, which will give you a specific alert if something is not going well. But this is, let's say, the technology behind everything that you see is just this very flexible and configurable automation engine. This is a bit a recap of what we do and the advantages. Okay, so and an order-entry system, EFI as well. I mean, you can even connect to a web to print system like the one of XMPie that you've seen before. All data related to the customer is registered there, and of course this can be sent to JDF or XML to automation engine, and if need be, it's a more old school method, connect to an SQL database, for instance. This will guarantee that you don't have double entries, no more retyping, no more reinterpreting, no more operator time that is spent looking at envelopes and copying data from there. This strong integration with the editors will all give you also total production control and quality control. And of course, you can engage your customers with these approval platforms and also the email notifications that are sent to them. All right. This is what we call digital maturity, meaning you move from a system in which you do things less manual and you open yourself up for taking in more jobs, thinking more how you can creatively make your company different than other companies, because everything that is repetitive and redundant will just be automated in the background. All right, it's really a helpful tool that makes your company make giant leaps towards digital maturity. All right, together, of course, with web-to-print platforms and MIS tools that are tuned for the graphics industry. All right, good. So this is the first part of that I wanted to talk about. It's all about automation, all about integration. Okay. Next step, I would like to talk a little bit about RPro Plus, giving you some problem statements there. It's all about error reduction, also automation engine, but this editor for sure will make sure that everything that is going wrong in a technical drawing that may end in a shelf is detected on time. No graphics errors, no copy errors, no text spec errors. These are all things that we try to avoid in RPro Plus. Okay, so it's basically easy to identify quality issues, and we'll see in a minute how that goes. Okay, so let me give you a few introductions. This one I like very much. It is a just if I can show it live, it's nice to show it live as well. Okay, let me open up RPro, take this document in here, and let's do a pre-flight on it. I'm sure you're familiar with pre-flight tools, perhaps Pitstop and so on, which is also, by the way, an ESKO company. But let's see if you can do some pre-flighting a bit more in an interactive way by using RPro. Okay, so in here you get a pre-flight, again, the specific pre-flight profile. Perhaps I went a little bit too far. You will see in here specific industry standards, yes, but also profiles that I've made myself because I want to do specific checks for my either digital workflow or analog workflow or offset workflow or flexo workflow or mixed workflow, hybrid workflow. I mean, every environment you can pre-flight towards with this tool. Okay, this pre-flight will give you a number of errors, as you can see in here. Hey, I'm expecting another barcode in here. Yes, please zoom towards the problem, and it will just zoom towards the problem. Okay, some of my text was not in overprint. He will again zoom towards the specific area of your design where you have that issue. All right. Image resolution again is not quite all right. Not a problem. I can go to my image over here and replace it if I want to by another one. All right, there you go. This is a nice one as well. Line weight, specifically in your specific offset or flexo environments, or even some digital environments as well. You want to make sure you can correct or quickly correct your line work. Again, you zoom towards the problem and you quickly are able to solve the problem interactively in the editor as well, as you can see in here. All right, so interactive pre-flight. We've seen in the video that you can, of course, quickly do separation management, that you can quickly also compare one document to the other, but perhaps more specifically, do some array detection, look about the object screening, check if you have doing this in Flexo, the Flexo print area errors. Okay, as you can see them in here. So it will create a kind of breakout area in here. Yes, if you're printing Flexo, for instance. But of course, if you're printing Flexo, perhaps more interested in seeing the total area coverage. As you can see in here, we have specific areas that have too high density or that go above a limit. Okay, it's just a quality control tool that will help you avoid errors in an automatic way. When I mean automatic, I really mean automatic. Let's see at this small video where we're going to show how we work with action lists on a specific document. Okay, so in here you see 3 specific files. We will now just look at one specifically, and we run a pre-flight check to find potential. We did that already. Okay, but more importantly, we will look at the separations, and we'll create a kind of an action list. Okay, this is an action list, a number of steps where we will create changes on the document regarding the dies, for instance. Okay, replace this name of the die by another name of the die. All right, actions. So in here we can do standardized inks for surface printing. Again, standardized to specific inksets that you have in-house. Okay, so we can treat separations. But there is many more things that you can do. We can also adjust page boxes automatically for the file. Very nice, just detecting edges or cat design if you want to. Okay, and you can of course do some more preparation and quality control as we showed earlier. Okay, so these are just actions that you can perform in your again in your RPro. Let's have a look at it, how we can do it. Close the pre-flight over here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the report generating. Okay, this is interesting, where you can create this report whenever you do the pre-flight. There you go. It's always nice to see. Okay, we saw it before, but everything that we saw before, you can also report on it and look at the details and make sure this is communicated again in your job envelope and your history of your file. Okay, good. But perhaps a bit more about the action list. That is an interesting thing to look at. Okay, take out the total area coverage. Let's zoom in and step and repeat is of course as well in there. Object selection. Let me have a look. Of course, we've seen the trapping. Okay, but I think it's quite clear on what we did with the action list. But I can show it to you in any case. Convert to okay. Demo. This is a nice one. Okay, good. Let me show you this action list in here. Yes, he's looking at my server. This is why he's asking, but let me perhaps show you what a typical action list could look like. Okay, you can add barcodes, add bleeds. We will see that in a minute, what we mean by that. Add dimensions, layers, create rich black, create white underprint, convert to a specific metallic ink, for instance, or add a metallic ink above an object. This could be interesting for the digital printing equipment that is offered by your partner, by EDS, for instance. So you can connect or create a file that is having those specific separations, convert clips. These are all actions that can be chained one to the other. Quite interesting way of working. Again, offloading the operator, making sure the operator is actually can dedicate himself to other tasks. I think we discussed the report templates, and I think I don't have that much time anymore, but I will talk about the fixing bleed. Can be something that is actually again useful in your environment. There you go. Okay, so you can see in here that I'm going to show you a video on how quick you can set page boxes, importing a file and creating a bleed fix on a document. It's quite nice to see how in just a few minutes you can do something that takes 10-15 minutes in another job. Okay, so in here we have the border of the document, the trim box. There you go. And in here, it will spread the clip automatically. Okay. Instead of doing this in a manual way. Okay. Usually operators have to do with these complex files. In this case, we just help you quickly creating a bleed and do it in just 32 seconds. You create a bleed. In another application, it would take you 3 times more. In Illustrator, it's going to take even more time. All right, good. So let me conclude this presentation by, I think we have the 25 minutes covered. Let me first quickly refer to the original presentation. Okay, where we can have an overview of our solutions, or the solutions that we've seen today. Okay, so I hereby offer you the possibility to ask some questions on this forum. Okay, let me know if there is something you want clarified more in detail.